Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to get into a really easy magic trick that you can do for your spectators that's truly amazing, but you don't even have to touch the cards. So let's get into that right now. So for this trick, the spectator picks a card. Let's say this one. I mean, it really doesn't matter. So that's the card. Now they take this. They separate it into 4 or 5 piles. Doesn't really matter. About equal. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then they pick a pile and put it on a pile. Let's say this one. So they picked this pile. They could have picked this one. They could have picked that one. They could have picked that one. But they went with this one, which is fine. They're entitled. Free choice. Then you say, okay, just take one of the packs, put it on top. Then take the entire pack, put it on top of a different one, and take the final one and put it on top. Square up all the cards, and at this point the spectator cuts the deck. So they cut the deck. And they can change their mind if they want. They can put it back. They just cut the deck, and they arrive at their card. Now the most important thing to remember is that this happens in the hands of the spectator, so they can feel this card, they can look at this card. There's nothing weird about it. They went through the whole deck, and they picked whatever card they wanted, and all the cards are different. So to them, this is a really amazing trick. So let's get into how to do that. All you need is a normal deck of cards. And here is the secret weapon. It's right here. Salt. You just need literally a pinch of salt. So, you pour out a little bit of salt. And you don't need a whole lot. Maybe about that much will suffice. And you just pinch it between your thumb and middle finger. The rest of this you don't need, so you have the salt here. And they go through, they pick their card. Okay, so in this case it's that card. And this is done by them. They split it into 4 packs, 2, 3, and 4. So there's the 4 packs. And then when you point, you say, okay, you can pick any of these cards, any of these packs. They put it down here, you point, and you just kind of sprinkle the salt off of your middle finger and thumb into here as you're pointing. Point, point, point. You say you could have picked any of the other ones. You pick this one. Okay. And then they put a pack on top, they put that on top, and then they put a different one on top. So it's buried practically in the center of the deck. And if you look, you can see that opening. That's where all the salt is. So then when they come down to cut the deck, they cut it, and you could say, hey, you can change your mind. Well, they just put it back, and then they cut to the exact same spot. So you're kind of tricking them. But it ends up being right at their card. So when they pick it up, they might feel the salt a little bit, but it's not really a huge deal. If you're super, super concerned about it, you can take it, you can flip it, and kind of brush off all the salt. It's not a huge deal. They won't notice it. And again, this happens completely in their hands, which makes it even more powerful, because you don't have to touch the cards to produce the effect that you want. The only other thing I want to kind of warn you about is that this isn't 100%. There are some times where they cut it and it's not their card. If that happens, my recommendation would be to restack it and then you cut it at the salt, because that ensures that it's going to be at their card or whatever. So if they cut it and it doesn't work, Okay, if their card was the Two of Diamonds, they cut it, it doesn't work. Then you come, you cut it. And then you say, well, sometimes it doesn't work with a Spectator, but you need the Magician. So, just an alternative if it doesn't work. For me, it's almost always been effective, but just as a backup plan, then you know what you can do if, for some reason, it doesn't happen to work. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Hopefully you go and you use this, and you can apply it, and you can amaze some spectators. If you like the deck, or you like the trick, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.